What's going on, John? Time is it? 8:30. How you doing today? Andrew, what's going on? I wasn't sure if there'd be anyone interested in this. Give it a minute or two, see if anyone else joins in. It's just kind of a spur of the moment thing. I was talking to somebody I know a couple hours away, and they've got a roof leak. So I was like, they want me to go look at it. Figured I would try to get it worked in tomorrow, but talking to him, asking him some questions, and figured I'd play a little detective work while just going over the photos. So the plan is just go over it here with you guys. If you see, I can see the screen here and shorten me down. Here's an inside photo of a little bit of damage. We'll go through just a few photos that I've got and see what your guys' thoughts and opinions are. If anyone new is in here that might have a roof leak or watching this later, just some things that I look for. Like I said, I've not even been there yet, but just gonna go check it out. You're in Michigan on vacation? Nice. What part of Michigan, John? Actually, my family went up there Labor Day weekend, I think it was. No, Memorial Day weekend. We went up to can't even think of that name. Oh, just about a third of the way in on the Michigan side. It's a pretty cool area. We stayed on the water. A little slow start. Got about six of you in here. But if you're on vacation, make sure you spend time with your family and not trying to get in on here. I'll give it another minute, see if anyone else comes in 8:32. I'll try to keep this a pretty short stream, and then if anyone wants to do any questions, I'll do what I can to answer a few. I'm not gonna do a stream like last night. That was over 3 hours. I didn't get to bed until 2 a.m. Roofing life. Thank you, I appreciate it. Do we worry about roofs in progress for rain? Yes, but a lot of that just goes into planning, making sure we watch the jobs we're getting set up on, and looking at the forecast, always looking at the forecast and changing accordingly. If there's a little bit of a concern of a pop up, blow up, possible storms, a higher percentage, then we'll be cautious. We'll just tear into a section, or if we can switch jobs around, we're just always cautious. And if there even is, we'll tear off a section, dry it in before we tear off more, just keep under control on top of things. Tag, Tab Bick, how's it going? Jacob Bohr. Yeah, your thumbnail looks familiar. Are you the one that does all the roofing story stuff? That's my opinion on open valleys and closed valleys. Uh, We were just talking about that briefly in last night's stream too, as far as I personally like the look of open cut valleys with metal. Around here, everybody does either close cut or California. And if I had to choose between a close cut and a California, I'd choose California. There's, I think the benefits outweigh the negatives, the cons of the cosmetic, but that's just my opinion. They both can be done successful. Lakeside, South Michigan, Southwest Michigan. Yeah, we went and got a little cottage from God, I'm gonna have to look it up. Uh, I'm drawing a massive blank. I can't even think of the name, but we got a little cottage up on the water. It just is pretty cool. Water was cold, but it was a fun time. Actually, well, sorry, this is Riffing Channel. I do a lot of crypto channel, and that's I sitting there in the evening, drinking some coffee in the mornings, and trading Bitcoin, and pretty fun time. Of course, after the wife and daughter went to bed. Tonight is supposed to rain and have a chimney flashing, but not counter. So if you got a roof done or chimney flashing is all done, and it's just the counter flash is not done, um, wouldn't completely worry given this, I don't know what a situation is where your chimney is on the roof and stuff, but if they've taken precaution on just put a thin bead of sealer or even duct tape in a pinch, the majority of the water coming out would cause a problem is coming down the roof and hitting the chimney. So as long as they got the roof flashing side done, you should be okay. It'd have to be a pretty heavy rain blasting the side of the brick and then running down behind the flashing. Where you at? And I'll look up on the weather maps here real quick. Just put the, my wife is getting our little grill put down. So that's I'm trying to be a little on the quiet side. They're back on the other side of the house. All right, if anyone's interested in what the spur of the moment topic is here, I don't know if you guys saw the post I put out like an hour ago. Real quick on the valley there. The reason I like the California Valley is because it gives you a perfect line for the water to hit and a channel to run down. If you do a close cut valley, make sure you nip the corners. That's one of the biggest things you got to be cautious on, aside of the nail placement pattern. Nails not too close in your valley. Oh, that's your job in Holland, Michigan. Yeah, there's a big rainstorm when I was looking. It was coming over just north of Chicago, crossing the lake when I was outside earlier with the dogs. Um, if you got a picture of it, send me. I'd curious to see that on the Grand Roofing Inc. Facebook page. Send a message. What's up, Rance? Hey, Rance, I owe you an apology. I think I misread something when you donated and you said you hijacked the channel. I kind of skimmed through and I saw Ico sucks. I saw the IK or KO. I thought it was Kokomo sucks. So that's what I was giggling at. And I think I even read it back as Kokomo sucks. Hashtag Kokomo sucks, but it was Ico sucks. I was thinking about that all day. I was like, man, he thinks I'm probably stupid. $300 dumping 30 square. Yeah, that's about what we're paying here in my hometown. We have one place that does like shingle trash construction debris, then we have a transfer station. They're both pricey. Yeah, like an hour away you can get it done for half the price. Everything's just going up in cost. How do I overcome fear of heights? Uh, that one took a little while. When I first started roofing, I was like 18 and 16, 18, something like that. And one of my first jobs was a two-story and it had these like little built-in gutters, and some of the guys were just walking like it's no big deal, and I was terrified, just shivering, quivering, and scared. But I guess to answer the question, there's always that little fear in the back of my mind, and don't ever get too comfortable because that's when you're gonna get hurt. The guys that were just super fearless, they were the ones that usually always got hurt. You always want to have some fear to be careful and cautious. Yeah, I did see it, Rance. I appreciate it. Because I was trying to catch all the comments last night. and I'm trying to answer, and I've got my mind focusing on that, then I didn't pay attention to the comments, and then I realized that there was a conversation going on. I didn't know what was going on. You were helping answer questions, so thank you. Yeah, don't feel bad. The trash, one of the places is 135 a ton in my area, so it's getting out of control. Yeah, it's that sudden stop at the end. Yeah, I think the fall, just savor the fall. If you can go into slow motion, just it's that sudden stop that hurts. I will say if you are gonna fall, jump. Jump and keep your control. All right, we're like 10 minutes in almost. 15 people in here, so we'll just briefly go through. This is just an idea I had. Like I said, somebody was talking to me this morning, lunchtime, saying they had a leak, and here's a photo from the inside. I don't know if it's too small, if you guys can see it on the screen here. Let's see if I can zoom in just a little bit. It looks like there's a little bit of moisture that was gathering down here. I have not been here. I'm just seeing what you guys think, and if anyone's new, just give this some ideas of what I look for when I'm looking for a leak. So the individual texts me this photo showing me this, and then I ask him for a few other photos. There's another one, so you can see right down here. Let me shrink me over here real quick. As I'm going through these pictures, I might miss some comments there, so just bear with me. But, looking down here, here's that spot. You can see there's like a door or a window or something right here. So this is an exterior wall, and there's a bookcase here. I don't see anything going up the wall. Again, these are just photos that were sent to me by my phone, so the resolution may be degraded slightly. Here's another one looking up at the ceiling. Again, I don't really see anything obvious. So at this point, I'm just thinking to myself and asking, when did the leak get noticed? Who noticed it? What time of the day? What kind of storms and weather patterns were going on? So it sounds like the roof was put on in March, and I believe they just started noticing the leak. So I asked for a photo on the outside, and here's what they send. So here's the window, and that bookcase is going to be right on this wall right here on the inside, and then the water's going to be down here on the bottom somewhere. Let me glance through here real quick. Yeah, the Bitcoin dip. Yeah, it did dip. It's actually running up just a little bit right now. Hopefully come back down. I did get a trade. I bought a Bitcoin earlier. It was funny. I was going through a car wash on the way home tonight. Truck was kind of dirty. Truck bed was empty. I was like, I'll just get a truck wash. And I pull in, pull up my chart, buy a Bitcoin. Coming out of the car wash, I sold it, made 30 bucks. It was like an easy $30 in 2 minutes. It was pretty fun. Let me go here. I want to see what we got. Daniel Martinez. Are you the Daniel that worked with me for a bit? With an AC outdoor unit, or is it going through metal? Oh, it's metal roof. I don't know why you would have it going through a metal roof. Um, Without seeing it, it's really hard. But if I'm imagining what you're talking about, having the conduit, probably your AC cooling lines, your cool line and your return line, whatever they're called, referred to as. Um, I would get a retro split boot or something, and you can, because you obviously can't pull your charge lines, you have to pull another vacuum and recharge them with coolant. So the retro split boots will actually have a little zipper that goes around them on the low side. You seal it, screw it down, and it zips around the top and then caulk it. Um, Without seeing it's kind of hard, but that's what I'm thinking in my head. All right, let me go back to this photo here real quick for a few minutes. 22, 23K Bitcoin. We're sitting at 23,296 currently. I'll probably buy some more here in a little bit after the stream so I can focus on it. Uh, Binge watching the channel. Eddie, I appreciate it. Thank you. Roofs are made of concrete. You're across the pond then, right? Sorry, I do want to engage with you and read the comments, but I'll try to focus on this here too. I'll try to set a limit, maybe about an hour or so. Some Q&A too. So anyway, back to the photo here. If you guys can see it, let me close this over up here. Got it. Just looking at this, let me get your guys' opinions that are roofers or just a DIYer along for learning here. What would you look at? What would you ask if you're a roofer showing up to look at this? Because I just saw the photo and then started asking the guy some questions and then what I'm going to look for tomorrow. Do I have Daniel, a video on the metal like that? No, but I do have a video. The closest thing to that is going to be of a riser split boot. Look up something like riser pole split boot and you should be able to find something. It's the same concept, except instead of roofing around it with shingles and nailing it, you're going to simply put it down over your steel and secure it with screws when the sealer's under it. There also is like a little lead boot or lead metal in the boot, so it kind of conforms and is a little more rigid for you to screw through too. Um, you should be able to look something up on that. Or keep an eye out. I want to do another tour video for the channel of Wagler Metal Sales here up in my area, and they've got all those boots, and I'll try to do some more product reviews. So anyway, back here to the photo, I asked the guy first off, what direction is this facing? He wasn't sure at the time, but I'm like, okay, what time was the photo taken? When did you take it? And he said in the evening, so just looking at this, I have a pretty good sense of direction. If it was in the evening here in my region and the shadow is kind of more off to the right side, that means the sun is off over here, casting a shadow. So this facet would be facing west. So just looking at that, and then I tried to ask him, um, what storm was it? Is this last one we just had recently? We just had a ton of rain, like 3 inches of rain in a short period. So real heavy rain. Ask him where is the leak. Well, he shows me they don't see anything in the ceiling. So first off, if it's in the ceiling, we see a chimney there, we see cedar siding. Um, could be, if it's nothing obvious, step flashing, nails in a keyway. That's a big one I've seen. But those leaks typically are just little spots. They're not like a big ceiling dropper until years down the road they've rusted out. So what I'm looking for here is there's a few things. I see a gutter right there. Is there debris in the gutter? So if this was put on in March and around April, if that is a maple tree, it's kind of hard to tell. I don't see a good picture of the leaf. Looks like maybe a birch or something. So if there's a maple tree in the area and you got the helicopter seeds that come down, it could easily clog the gutter. Then if you have a massive rain flow coming in, it has nowhere to go, it's going to back up and over. Well, if you look at the soffit right here, there's like no soffit. It's very little. So could it have been backing up from being clogged? It's very possible. If it did, it's coming inside this exterior wall right here and right down in that general spot. Rain blowing heavy from the west hitting the siding. You got some like stone, cultured stone or something. Concerned about the window here. Something else I see is I saw this right away. That looked like a, do I need to zoom in? Can you guys see that okay? Let me zoom in a little bit. It looked like there's a dryer vent or something right there. So I asked them, and they're like, "Oh yeah, there's a basement utility room where the dryer is." So I'm wondering if maybe if the rain was hitting hard and it was coming down around this, if it's not sealed off, fastened to really good, could water be getting it? It's a possibility. So if we go back to this photo, I think it's right here. Yeah, so that dryer vent is going to be right down in this region right here. So if water is hitting it and running down, it's already in that cavity now, that chase, and it could be hitting the inside of the wall. Could be a condensation issue. You know, those are some things to look for. So a couple things I'll be looking for when I get there tomorrow. And again, being cautious of the sighting, the step flashing, making sure the step flashing is in the right order all the way. Can't see really well from the photo. on the chimney. I can't tell if it's tar or what that is. It's inconsistent. So I don't know. I won't know until I get there to look at that tomorrow. Yeah, so I mean, when I get there, my plan is any obvious damage. According to the photo, it doesn't look like it. Then it's going to be check the gutter right now in this area. Could there be like the clog? Very possible it could be, and it could be flowing in. And like I said, there's only like 2 inches, 4 inches in this soffit overhang. Check the downspout, that drain down here. If all that looks good, nothing is clogged or anything, the grade of the gutter, no damage there. I'm going to be looking, is there a kick out at the bottom for the step flashing right down here? And do my best. If you've got a little room to see from the top of the shingle, the granule side, to whatever your siding is, and you can peek in, you can see the laps of the step flash. Make sure they're not missing one. And then also make sure if they didn't replace it, during the tear off cleaning with a flat bar, I've seen over the years people puncturing them, so that's something you want to watch for. And then of course all the flashing and counter flashing on the chimney. So if the leak is coming in here, let's just say it's coming in the middle of the roof, it doesn't mean it's coming in right there. It can be coming in anywhere from here or higher. Typically, if you have a leak, it's going to run down the paper, find a way in the decking, it'll drip in off where two sheets of decking come together. If it's coming down a truss, it could follow that truss all the way down unless it finds a little point to run off of. So just some things I look for. See if I missed anything here. Your corrugated metal in your garage is coming up or it's nailed down. That's not good. If you've got nails, I'd be cautious of the diameter of the nail hole, but pull them out if they're compromised and then put a large screw with a washer seal on it, depending on how bad the panels are, how old they are. Um, was the old flashing replaced? I don't know. I didn't have a chance to ask that question. We didn't have a lot of time to talk, but I will be able to find that out. It blows me away on the jobs we do, and I've gone over and seen that people will reuse rusty steel step flashing. It just blows me away. It's the same area I'm looking at, the tree downspout soffit area, the dryer vent. Is the bottom of the drain spout pulled away? I don't know. Again, these are the only photos I have to work with. And looking at that, it's not even in view. Those are the only photos I have. That's the only exterior. The only other one I have is this. He sent me the address and I cropped it so you guys can't see where the place actually is, but it appears that this right in the center part is the house chimney, and then there's going to be a little drop wall. So if you look at this ridge line here, this ridge line is slightly further east. So there's a raised up wall right behind the chimney. Going back to this photo, it's weird, I've not been there. So the first ridge is in the center of this chimney. The other ridge you're looking at is down here. So that does look like this is going to be the chimney, and there's going to be a lower wall right here, and it's under this tree. So this over here is the west. The rain we had that day was blowing in hard from the west, blowing to the east, just plastering your side and everything down here. Is it possible to inspect with a drone? Yeah, depending upon your surroundings and where you are. Also, you know, I guess where you are kind of pertains to drones have kind of gotten out of control and affordable for anyone and everyone, and people are ruining it for the bunch of the masses. So if you use it for work, for income, for monetization, for your business, for your web page, anything, you really need to have a Part 107 license. If you don't have a Part 107 license, you technically, legally are not supposed to fly within 5 miles of any airport or helipad. and that really reduces where you can legally fly. So just FYI, if you guys are looking at using drones or do use drones, it is a $22,000 fine from the FAA if you get caught without the proper license or if you have an accident. So if you do use it, it's not that hard of a test. Just study for it. Well, I guess it wasn't too hard, but I'm a private pilot, so it was a lot of stuff I already knew. But look into it. Yeah, so that's also what I was talking about. They noticed it during the heavy rain, but I'm not seeing anything up on the ceiling in those photos. So then it makes me wonder, is it a sighting issue or even a condensation issue that's been developing over time when you have the extreme hot and cold and you've got a chase where there's probably lack of insulation and being sealed. You got cold air from your basement coming through the wall. I mean, all those are things to look at. Is it 1212 walkable? Yeah. I've got a video of me walking one 3 stories up. I wouldn't recommend it. This one here is a little pitchy. So I'll have my cougar paws. Honestly, most all this I can do from the ground and ladder. If I need to get up here, I always have a cushion in the truck, and I will also have my cougar paws and a hook for my ladder. So if I need to, I can always set my telescoping ladder up right here and break my ladder down and put the hook on it up over the ridge so I can safely work anywhere on this section here. Yeah, the cougar paws are definitely worth it. They work really good. Thanks again, Rance. I appreciate you helping out here. I'll be right back. I think I hear my daughter. I'll be right back. Okay, she's already asleep. My wife watching TV. Hey, you got any questions or things you would, I mean, hell, I'm always up for learning. Somebody got something new to teach me. Um, it's a little hard and deceiving to see how big this soffit is. It doesn't look very far, but if you look at a known, like I know these ABs right here, these gutter bends here. I can't remember if an A goes this way or if it's forwards or a B, vice versa. But so I'm guessing by the distance of this, that's only about a 6 inch, 4 to 6 inch soffit area. So that's really probably where I'm going to focus the majority of my attention. Daniel 1212. He's the one. Shingles, yeah. Just be cautious with the shingles if they're older, if the granules are coming off, or if a shingle wants to break out. I've also seen where retabs are curled real bad. I would be cautious walking something steep because they can snap off and crumble out from under you. It's you can grip them with the right shoes, the right soles, the right equipment, but if it's not bonded to the roof, you're going for a ride. Oh, sorry, I think I missed part of that there. About not being able to walk it. Yeah, I'm just saying if you've done stuff like this before, it can be done, but it's not worth your life. It's not worth getting broken bones and handicap. So I talked about that last night a little bit. You got to justify the cost. What's your time and health worth? It only takes one accident. What's the I already seen the first problem with this roof. Yeah, every roof is just a little different. I mean, there's been some where I'm like, no. So I did a video probably a couple years ago on the Guardian fall prevention harness. I was in the area that day before shooting that video, and there was a little brow I needed to fix. I threw my ladder up. I'm like, man, I'm just not feeling it. It's 2 stories up. It's just me. One slip, and I'm gonna be knocked out or dead. So I was like, I'm just doing the right thing. Coming back the next day with the safety harness and equipment, and came down. So even though you feel confident, if there's the risk of death, I'd reconsider. Can you put shingles for upside down starter because you want to roof your shed? You can use shingles for starter, but there's two things that one you definitely got to be cautious of, and everybody does this. Tried to describe it the other day. Let me just run out to my garage real quick. If this can help you, be right back. I can actually give you a visual of what I'm talking about. Wow, cut a shingle up real quick. This one is a CertainTeed landmark. You can typically tell by these. But anyway, all shingles are going to have the buildup and the underlying side, the headlap. There's also the common bond where they overlap. There will be a seal strip if it's a bottom seal, most of them are. If it's a top seal, it'll be in the area you nail. And what that's for is the shingle above is going to seal down onto it. If you use a shingle as a starter and you flip it upside down, like this, I see guys put it down like that. That is bad because when you put your shingle on, it's never going to stick because of the cellophane. That's how they're packaged in the bundle. I see this a lot. I've done videos on it. If you do it this way or this way, it's going to be okay because it's going to eventually stick down. The thing I would advise though, especially on a lower slope like at 412, the thickness from the bottom to the top is the same, so it causes a little extra thickness here, and when your next shingle goes down, it has a little bit of a divot. And it's not a big deal if it's steep, it's flatter, you're going to see it. You possibly have lateral water movement, and it just you'll see a little thicker row all the way across the bottom, almost like you see on a California valley going up the valley. So just be aware of that. Knocking granule all over in here. There are a lot of DIYers here, and that's perfectly fine. It's just there's quite a few DIYers that just get going and don't look things up first. That can have a bad outcome. In Louisville, it's probably a good 3 hour drive from here, I think. Um, Probably could. That's a bit of a drive for me. Send me a picture of your house. Let me look at it. If it's something we could probably do in a solid day, then it's possible. But if it's something where we got to post up for a few days in a hotel, that'd start pissing off the crew. Hmm. I mean, I've traveled before. Just sometimes it sucks. If we could do it in a day, it's not a big deal. If it's one that takes a second day driving back or getting a hotel, it's just not fun being away. I appreciate the thought there. And definitely do some research on companies you're looking at using. Don't just pick one. And typically, if you get a handful of estimates, you're going to find a cluster, a range. Usually, you'll find some just outrageous prices, and you'll find some really low ball. Those are the ones you really just got to watch. I'm gonna find out tomorrow. Who was it, Daniel? Uh, yeah. So I don't know. Somebody had sent me a message saying they have a leak inside. You must be new and not seen the beginning of it. We'll just go through real quick so you can see it. They sent me a picture that there's a leak inside right here. This is an exterior wall, so I had them send me some other photos and just asking some questions. There's that right there. Here's an exterior window, bookshelf on a wall right here, and just asking if I could find the leak for him and what it is because the roof is new in March. So that's kind of what we were just talking about during the stream here. My plan is to get down there tomorrow midday and look at this and see what I can see, possibly even put a video together of it. That's typically what my days consist of now, are just doing estimates and inspections. I do a little repair work, and then of course keeping the crew going. It's just really hard to tell. Typically, if you had no wall flashing, you're going to see more damage up along the top up in here. You'd see some drippings and staining. Um, I don't see any of that. It is possible that it's running down the last rafter, truss, whatever's there, and skipping the ceiling and hitting the top seal plate. At that point, it could be running down the wall, but you would usually see blistering paint on the way down, and I don't see any of that there. So going back to this exterior photo I said earlier, the gutter could be clogged. If it was done in March, the trees could have dropped debris like helicopters, clogged in the heavy rain and overflown back into the top seal plate because there's not much soffit. The other thing is right down here is a basement utility area dryer vent coming up, and we had a heavy storm out of the west blowing east. So those are some things I'm going to look for tomorrow. Is a 24-year-old timberline roof always need to be replaced? Yeah, it could have been a bad batch. There's other factors, ventilation, pitch. Does it have good adequate sunlight and wind cooling it and drying it? It's really hard to tell. 10-12 pitch. I mean, it should dry off and hold up pretty good. What's it doing? Does it just look bad? Is it wearing out? Got leaking? Oh, you don't want to wait until it's leaking. Um, I mean, all asphalt roofs, you want to get as much out of as you can, but I don't believe they're going to get to 50-year like a lot of companies, manufacturers say. So 24, I mean, I've seen three tabs outlast 30 years. I mean, they don't look good, but they're still doing good and strong. I wouldn't recommend waiting until you have a leak because at that point, who knows how much damage you're getting into. There can be other factors too. If you're looking at selling it, it might be better to get it done now because a roof that age, you're probably going to get an inspection. It's going to just weigh, question a few things. Then buyers are going to try to nickel and dime you on everything. So there's just so many variables that come into play. Up here on this one, if you're, who was that that said that? Is it missing ridge cap at the top, Daniel? No, I don't believe so. Looking at this, it's probably got a ridge vent right here, and some companies run ridge vent all the way to the ends. Other companies, they'll run like 6, 8, 10 pieces of ridge cap and then overlap the ridge vent. So if you're referring to this little part, I mean, I'm not there, I can't say for sure, but I'm guessing that's just a lower profile ridge cap, and then you got the ventilation that starts. Rancy talking to me or somebody else in another comment somewhere. Yes, that's one of the things I'm definitely going to check for is the humidity, the condensation. You got a high humidity exhaust coming out of here from a dryer, and you got cold air from the inside. You could have rain hitting it. There's a few things. Because if you look at this photo right here, I mean that looks like mildew right down here, and it's going to be right where that's at. So something I'm going to keep my eyes out and watching for. In one of the roofs I was at today, talking about hail damage and wind damage, I was kind of surprised. They marked it, typical front east side, hail, none, wind, 4, then the back side, and same thing, hail, nothing, wind, 3. I was like, wow, they're doing a full replacement on this? I was kind of surprised, but if you look at the soft metal, there's hail strikes everywhere. But I think it was they didn't have a storm date that showed significant hail in that area from when they called the original date of loss in. So they went with the wind, but I was kind of surprised. I didn't have to do anything with it. That was an Erie claim. Shout out from California, received here in Indiana. Thank you. I appreciate that, Nicholas. Sorry, don't take it the wrong way. Well, not to you, but some of the video content, at least the inspectors around here, they miss so much stuff. I mean, they're kind of well-rounded, so I don't ever want to rub anyone the wrong way. But I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, it's like, of course, I'm not there. It's an hour and 15 minutes away. But my gut knowledge is telling me it's not the roof, it's going to be from the gutter down or condensation. You guys, I appreciate the help commenting to other people. Charles, yes, I've seen a lot of claims where uh, you go meet the adjuster. Some of them are really cool, and they're like, I appreciate it. You just shoot the shit with them, and they end up covering stuff. But I've gone to some, and hey, we didn't see any damage. So then you want to reschedule and get them back out there. It can just be a pain. Yeah, definitely don't tell them how to do their job. That's what I was just saying a minute ago. I just shoot the shit with them. I don't ever tell them how to do their job. Just find something in common and chat and thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, you've been watching since the early 200 or 2000 subs? Wow. I remember that 2000 mark. I was leaving the cemetery from burying my mom when I did that video. It was the 2K sub giveaway, I think it was the title. I have another giveaway I'm trying to think of what to do. Don't have a whole lot of experience in the adjuster meetings and inspection, storm damage restoration. I've been mostly retail. I have a little experience, but people have told me they're like, "Hey, don't get there and just tell them how to do their job and point things out," because then they get annoyed by that. So yeah, luckily I had some people that knew more about it than me and told me that. So the few adjusters that I was there by request of the homeowner, I usually just stood on the ground, talked to the guy, introduced him, Sometimes I never went on the roof. A few times I'd go up, and again, I never said anything about the damage. Never pointed out. He's doing his own thing. We're just talking. Uh, so what's up with you all tonight? What content do you guys like, and what content do you guys want to see? Looks like some of you are new who weren't here last night. Rants are us. You want to be a moderator? Time is let's see here, 9:14. Uh, I talked to my brother after the stream last night. He actually did tune in for a minute, but never said anything. Hopefully he'll join in here in a few. There's a few other people that are usuals on here that just I haven't seen their names pop up. Josh, night shift, you working right now? Let them do their thing. All you need is approval, then you can fire bullets for pricing. Nice. Good info. Good stuff. It reminds me of a story of a roof in LaFontaine, Indiana. Hailstorm of 2018, I think it was. The entire town got a new roof, and there was this one poor family that just their roof was destroyed. I mean, we had like big hail, and it was blowing holes like clean through the ridge cap and damaging, smashing shingles. Everybody got a new roof but this one family, and she called. She's like, "Hey, we talked for a few minutes." I was the 12th contractor. I was like, "Look, if you've had 11 other contractors over, chances are I'm not going to be able to do anything." And her insurance company was, let's just guess, if you either have done this, what insurance company was she dealing with? Straight up said she did not have hail damage. Dawn, if you're asking somebody else, I can't answer for them, but I've never really knocked on a door. Something I need to maybe try. No, it wasn't State Farm. State Farm has been a really bad one to deal with for me, though. Some of the better ones I've dealt with is USSA. Allstate, Rick. Yep, you pegged it. You win. Is that the Mayhem Like Me guy? Yeah, I think they pay all their money in advertising to bring in their next victim. If you're asking me, I've never knocked on a door before, no. I've put outdoor knockers before just to get the company known when I was young and started, but I've never like knocked on doors during storms or after storms or anything. I've never dealt with any claims from farm. Actually, there is one, and it was I already knew it was Farm Bureau and kind of difficult. Um, I didn't even go the route of telling the guy. The guy contacted me, and he had Farm Bureau, and they were just being really hard. I'm like, dude, we got a discontinued shingle. I think you got a case, and it took quite a while. Ended up using a public adjuster and got him a new roof. There was one guy that had State Farm, and it was an independent adjuster that came out. It was during a bad storm event we had in Westfield, Indiana. And I talked to the guy. It's one of the ones that somebody warned me, like, hey, don't tell him how to do his job. I just met him. We were shooting the shit, found struck up a conversation about something. I don't even remember what it was. We were just talking as we were friends, and he's just chalking up, taking pictures. And I did know that he was an independent contractor brought in because they had so many issues going on, so many claims. And he's like, "Yeah, they call me Santa Claus." He's like, "You're getting a brand new roof." I was like, "Okay." I mean, that was pretty easy. But typically, State Farm has been hard. What's up, Super Roofer? How you doing today? Thank you, Charles. No, I'm not a one. Well, I mean, what define one man show? No, do I work for a bigger company? No, this is my company. So kind of one man show. I have many hats, but it's not just me. I've got a crew. Got any new squirrel videos, Super Roofer? Morning. B&E Skylights, where are you watching from? It's almost my bedtime tonight. I can't pull another 2 a.m. morning. So there's some things to easily spot discontinued shingles in most storms insurance, depending upon your policy. I'm speaking from way less experience than some of these other guys in here, possibly. But I do know if you've got an organic three-tab shingle, multi-layer, discontinued, like the old Surenail, um, uh, New Horizon, some of those types of shingles, they're discontinued, and that should justify if you have enough damage. Actually, technically, even one shingle damage should justify because it's not going to bring your repair like it was pre-storm condition. A shingle patch devalues the home value because it's patch. No, you're looking at the guy that does the repairs. It's me. I do most all the repairs that come our way, unless it's something big like a section of a roof or something, then I'll bring the guys in, but most of the repair work, it's me. Australia, hey, maybe one day I'll come down and see Australia. I've always wanted to see the nice blue water there. One of the new little shows or cartoons my little girl watches is Bluey. I think it's an Australian cartoon. Made me think of that. You're stuck at home. Oof, that's no fun. Josh, was that you earlier that said that would I come down 30 miles south of Louisville? I'm gonna say it's at least a 3 hour drive, maybe over three. Tell them to pick one. Anyone in here use Hail Trace? What's your thoughts on it? Overpriced, good, worth it? Yeah, any other software similar to it you'd recommend? Yeah, it's pretty funny. It's like a way toned down version of uh oh, the new guy. Actually, it's not even close, but it just makes me think of the new guy. There can be good money in repairs, and if anyone is here watching this now or later, repair work can actually get your company known. And I don't like always being the cheapest, and I'm a big advocate of not going with the cheapest. But repair work is a little bit different. It's kind of hard to price. I mean, I've seen some people just throw crazy prices and get work in repair work, and then I've seen some people. I was one of them because I didn't know. I would always put a value on a repair, like, well, I wouldn't pay $20 to do that one tab shingle repair just because I know how to do it and it doesn't take a lot. But then you got to remember the time to get to where you're going, the time to get back from where you went, the diesel it costs to get there, the shingle you got to buy, the nails, the insurance, all these things add up. But you can use that as an avenue to get your company known. If you guys see me looking over here, I'm watching my Bitcoin charts. So it looks like Australia, a few of you in California, up in Michigan, Louisville, Kentucky, Arkansas. Somebody in here was from Canada earlier. Cool. Do you know BDR? If you're still in here. Around here, you can really drum up a lot of repair work because it seems like every roof I go on is not just getting old and needing repaired or storm damage needing repaired. It's just straight up roofed bad and leaking. That's like, I'd say 90% of the leads that come my way in my area are just botched jobs. Yeah, even, if it's just a few minutes, that's $120. Don't forget though, like, I still need to call that guy. Shoot, I was busy out of town all day today. Somebody wants me to do a 30-minute job in Logansport, so it's a 35-minute drive northwest of here. And the words they're using to describe this is, a simple 30-minute job. I don't know what it is, so if I have to drive there, look at it, quote it, and then go back and schedule it to do it another time, that's all got to be figured in recouping. So you got to make sure you cover all those unknowns and those thoughts. Baseball size start, yeah, that'd be kind of cool. I mean, not really. I know what it's like as a homeowner to lose a home from a storm. It kind of sucks. You got to go through a lot. I had a house actually, half the roof got blown away in a tornado and the house got twisted off its foundation, and just had to go through a lot for that. I'm with silicone tubes. Actually, I want to do a video on that. GSL silicone, the 2300 crystal clear. They have options if you want the plastic clear tube or the corrugated, like wrapped foam cardboard with the polymer liner inside. Don't ever buy those. Spend 20 cents more and get the plastic. Thought about doing a product review on that. Always those extra partial tubes or even new tubes in your toolbox. Something gets wet, dewy, whatever. It's just pretty much shot. You go to caulk it, it blows out everywhere. There goes $9. Is there any value in recording? I mean, that could be debatable. Does OC stand behind their work? Well, I have an OC claim I'm working right now. Still waiting on their decision, so I'll let you know. It's a color claim issue. I feel like all of them, it doesn't matter which brand, they're all going to have like, oh, it's within color specs. Oh, it's not a defect. Oh, it was installed bad. It's always going to be something, I feel. Hand nailer for 2 years. Washington. Yeah, the state farm rep guy. I was just talking about that video with a guy, Eric, here in well, in my area today about that. Uh, Josh, I can't think of the guy's name. There was a guy with tattoos trying to split up a shingle, and the guy's like, "Look, I'm not a professional, but it's repairable." And he's like, "Well, then show me." And going in, but it's not the roof snake by State Farm. And yes, it is. Just yeah, there's a viral video. I have seen it. Yeah, I think it's kind of bogus. Again, it's one of those things, and I get people comment on the channel, and I read comments on his channel. People are like, "Oh, like one of the worst roof ever is I'm trying to bring awareness to certain topics, and people are like, "You're a scammer yourself because that's repairable." I was like, "No, that's not repairable. The dude got scammed. It's a botched job. There's nails everywhere." And people in the comment, the armchair warriors, "Oh, it's repairable." Dude, you start tearing stuff apart, especially a brand new roof, and you're pulling the mat exposed, trying to do a repair. I mean, it's not going to be pre-storm conditions. So yeah, it's kind of a jacked up job. Should be replaced. One of the videos I've got that's actually doing really well right now was a roof that I did an inspection on, not for an insurance claim. The homeowner had had many companies out to do it. They kept getting denied, so they called me because it was in the area. I go up there just simply do an inspection, asking the viewers, and I get really mixed reviews. I get people from contractors, homeowners, inspectors, and adjusters, and some of them are like, "Oh yeah, it should be a claim," and others like, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. That's totally repairable." People are like, "Oh, you destroyed that lifting it up." I was like, I'm just doing a simple video for you guys. Yeah, I feel like a lot of the companies have those, and I didn't want to go too deep into it because I don't want to piss people off. But again, I said in my stream yesterday, I will never sign one of those agreements with a company to be their master elite golden pledge, whatever. Um, I'm not going to favor one specific brand, nor on the other side of the spectrum will I use any damn shingle out there. There's some I will recommend stay away from, and then there are some that I think if you're just promoting one, you're gonna have a biased opinion. Your search for an installer is not getting any easier. Josh, are you the one that was from Louisville? Kind of just 30 miles south of Louisville, correct? If I have some time, I mean, tomorrow's gonna be pretty busy, but I'll just kind of glance because, I've talked about in my videos doing some research, but I've never actually had to do it myself, so I really don't know, but that might be a little fun practice. I'll see what I can find in your area. I would say if you're looking at something, don't pay a bit of attention by the Angie's List or the company at the bottom out, Home Advisor, or the BBB. BBB is a business itself. People can pay to get reviews wiped away and things. Mm, yeah. They tell you that you're breaking the concrete tiles with your finger. Yeah, Home Advisor is a scam. I actually have a local contractor just a few miles away from me in a different industry, and he was all, it's like, no, don't. And he's like, I already paid him for the year. He's getting a lot of leads, bogus leads. I know other people in the roofing area that were getting leads and they'd finally get through to people. Some of them would be like, quit calling me. Other guys would be like, look, I got my roof done 3 months ago, and just, it's crazy. Home advisor, lead generation. My opinion, I don't pay for any lead generation. I would not recommend it. I get blasted in my email for lead generation software and companies all the time, and yeah, it's not worth it. Build your own brand. You don't want to rely on some other company like that, especially Home Advisor. They're going to start charging you for like $1,000 a month worth of leads that are 90% of them are bogus. I mean, if you're a homeowner looking on Home Advisor, you can probably get a lot of people, but it might turn into a shit show for you. Unless anyone else in here has any other experience, well, please let us know. Hey, Dancing Alone with Rentals, you're on last night. How you doing? I won't be on near as late as I was last night. Probably need to set a limit at 10 o'clock. Okay, so there we go. Somebody else concurs with me. I remember the day I was talking to them, they called me trying to make it sound like I'm this great big company and all this. They're trying to butter me up, and I'm driving from Sheridan back to Kokomo, and it started out like a casual conversation. I didn't know a whole lot about them, and then he just got really persistent trying to push a deal. I'm like, give me his credit card, give him my credit card, and I'm like, no, they lower the price. Just give me your credit card. I'm like, yeah. Then I do a little digging about it, and I start seeing these stories pop up, and just it's not a good outcome. I'm sure there's probably a few cases on both the buyer side and I'm sorry, the customer side, contractor side that might turn out good, but the majority are a nightmare. Picture of the house. Somebody send me something on the Facebook or email. Let me look real quick. Somebody had sent something on Facebook last night, and I saw it finally this morning, and I replied. I'm not sure if that's any of you guys. Let me glance through this stuff here real quick. What are some good brands of shingles? Um, a brand that's installed good. Sorry, that's a very vague answer and sarcastic. Um, it, you could have the best shingle brand and installed bad. So I'd worry more about the installer putting good quality down before the quality of the. I mean, I don't want to discount the quality of the shingle, but the quality of the install is way more important than the quality of the shingle. Does workers' comp actually cover roofing sales or inspections? I guess I'm not following what your question is. You're referring to like workers' compensation if somebody's hurt? You mean like independent subcontractor salesman? I mean, the way I understand it, if you are the owner, you can have a waiver well, at least here in Indiana, I'm the owner, I can have a waiver, so I don't need work comp on myself. But if you have employees, you need work comp on them. And if you have subcontractors, you need a waiver of work comp or a certificate of insurance showing work comp. So there's different ways you can go about it. It's kind of hard to answer for me to give. I'm not an insurance guy. So to my knowledge, the work comp policy follows the company. And if you have independent sales guys, I don't believe it would extend to them. They would have to have their own. For me, I just have a waiver on myself. That doesn't put any homeowners in jeopardy, though. It just means that the state of Indiana's work comp is not going to cover me if I get hurt. Again, I'm not an insurance guy, but as far as like if they're, how'd you word that? Well, staff workers comp anytime they work. If they crash a car on the way to the job, many times it's on you. So the insurance work comp might be kind of a gray line when it comes to your state, like at least in Indiana, there's several things that blur the line on are you a contractor or are you an employee? Are you told when to be somewhere? Are you told what your pay is going to be? I don't remember exactly what they are, but that could get you into the gray area if they are an employee. Well, then if they can prove they're an employee based on these uh, subjective rules or laws, then you could get into an issue. But honestly, I'd be more worried about just the amount of people that don't have liability insurance that could cause an issue and burn your house down. I've seen it happen here in town. There's a flooring guy in my hometown of Kokomo. left a lot of combustibles in a trash can right in the sun. It just got hot, spontaneous combust, and burned half the house down. He had no insurance. So then the homeowner just like, well, shit. So thank you. I appreciate that. Sorry, I'll botch that name. Habib Assad. Assad. I'm sorry. I apologize. What's the cheapest you ever charged for a full roof replacement? Well, I'd have to give you an answer with a price per square because, I could say I did a doghouse for a few $100, but um, wow, I'd probably have to go back about 2 or 3 years because the costs have gone up so crazy right now. But even in my own hometown, it's cheap, cheap, cheap. This Charlie Zip Trader, it's been beaten down like a ravaged dog. The trading guy I watch. Maybe another 20 minutes or so. 9:40. 33 of you in the house tonight. I appreciate it. I think the record was yesterday's stream, 45. I mean, it sounds so pitiful. But as long as you guys are getting some benefit, I don't care if there's one in here. Try to throw some different, unique questions my way. If it's something I've got experience on or might know an answer. Oh, so here's a good tip for you guys. If you're contractors, my accountants didn't even know this. I had to tell my accountants like, hey, I studied up on YouTube. I heard some things. Who are my favorite YouTube day traders? So I've got some crypto guys and I've got some traditional stuff in Forex. Steven with the trading channel, he's got some really good stuff. Charlie, Zip Trader, he's got some pretty good stuff. I don't follow him quite as much because I've subscribed to him on an old channel, not my new ripping channel, but I do watch him when my little girl's uh, logged on my spare phone. He pops up. And then some of my bigger ones I watch all the time is going to be like Altcoin Daily, Crypto Jeb with Jeb McAfee, or McAfee Media. They do the morning coffee and crypto show. I pay as a member on their channel monthly. Usually tip them. Let's see, Altcoin Daily. There's a few other guys, but really, Altcoin Daily, they bring all the news and condense it, so I don't need to search it and pay attention to it. Just have a nice little condensed version of it. Um, Dan from Crypto Capital Venture, he's a good one too. There's just a few. You want to DIY your roof one day? Depending upon your roof, how complex it is, it's if you use some common sense with it, you do a little research and you've got some help to do it. Probably one of the biggest things I see DIYers do, there's two, well, three. They don't value their time. They think they're going to save, and at the end, they've taken more time off work and had more things go wrong and end up spending more in the long run and waste a week of their work, a week of their time. Uh, but that and they don't research some just simple basic how things go and they think they're going to save and then their roof fails in a few years. Oh, so let me back up before I forget, lose my thought. If you guys are contractors, self-employed guys, got business entities, a few things to look up. It can save you a ton of money. One, if you're looking at getting equipment and you've had a profitable year, you can at any time within that calendar year um, file a Section 179 and certain equipment, like my truck, it's a one-time depreciation. So you don't depreciate out over 5 years. You can take a one-time write-off on it. I see somebody, I'll go back to that here in a minute. So that's one good thing. Look up, check with your accountants. Most accountants that I've talked to don't even know about it. I had to tell mine to look it up. And another, if you're an LLC or a corporation, if you elect S Corp, it can save you a lot on taxes. There's a strategy where you have to pay yourself a W-2. Again, it can be an LLC, S elect, or it can be an S corporation, not a C. And you've got a payroll going to yourself, and anything over and above, you can take a draw or a distribution, and that can legally, I'm not gonna recommend or do anything illegal, but legally get you out of certain taxes. So it can add or save like a 7% tax based on your earnings. That can add up pretty quick. There's also another one. Look up the Augusta Act. Let me go back what I say about Indiana here. More difficult making roofing deals than ever because of a recession. Yeah, so here in my area, I just went through a 2 month spurt where I didn't even sell a roof. I've been busy writing estimates and doing stuff, and I haven't sold a roof in 2 months. We've burned through a lot of the work we had stacked up. I've got a few little things trickling in. I personally, since I'm pretty big into the markets and trading, day trading, all kinds of stuff, investing, that I've been paying attention to the signs. And I had sold a lot of my stuff off last year, early this year, and I'm just sitting sidelined. But I feel like when the media says it's a recession, you've already lived through half of the recession. We've been in a bear market a long time. But to answer your question, I feel like the sentiment and the average person, the market as a whole, is starting to fear layoffs and pay cuts, trying to hold on to their money. You mix that with all the crazy inflation and just all the macro things going on right now. So yeah, they're just price shopping right now. I don't think it's I think it's all over. Yeah, pretty deep into crypto. I did a little in the regular stock market, just I didn't like it too much. I had a couple things I was invested in. People, accounts that owed them went bankrupt and filed, and then their accounts receivable was hit hard, and it happened to be announced late Friday, and come Monday when the markets open, it was distilled off the market, and I couldn't trade it, and eventually lost. So I've had my fair share of losing, but that's why I'm more into the crypto markets because, right now it's after 9, yeah, markets are closed, but crypto's still strong right now. You guys got mad because you canceled the roost for the day. It was 104 degrees. I'd be happy. Especially on Saturday. I'd take that Saturday and go spend time with my family, go out to the lake. I wouldn't be upset, but I guess if they need the money, I can understand why they'd be upset. But if they're in this industry anything over a year, they should know by now you need to stack up for a rainy day. What do I think of the 50-year GF warranties? Well, like I said last night, I've got it on my house from where I used to work, and I will let you know. I'm not too confident with it though. Yeah, I've got a Super Duty and F350. I got it used, wrote it off. Been using it for what, 3 years now? Love that truck. Yeah, bear market's been going strong since November. When the I think we got one more big capitulation down, and I'm being very cautious. I'm only scalp trading right now, and because my personal thought, we've been in a nice little rally for the past week since July, actually more than a week. July 3rd, we've been in a rally, and the Fed meeting, the CPI result report came out. We're hell 9.1, I think, something like that. So it come crashing down really bad. Later that night, it was back on the rebound, so we've been climbing since. But the 26th and 27th, I think it is, the FOMC meeting, they're going to announce whether it's a 50 BP rate hike or a 75 or a 25 reduction. I think the market's baked in about a 50 BP. If they do a 75, I think it's going to have another big drop. So I'm trying to just scalp until that meeting. If they get dovish and go 25, I expect to see a nice little short-term rally. Besides GSL caulking, can I recommend any other? Uh, Really, GSL is all I stick with. That's all I stock. That's all I use. I'm sure there's others out there, but most of my suppliers have it. It's not cheap by any means. I'm paying about $9, around the $9, maybe a little bit more per tube. But my two favorite are the 4500 black, works on a lot of roofing stuff, including EPDM, and then the 2300 crystal clear. I use that more for like the siding, window type stuff. Just they only got two levers they can control stuff with, and they're not doing so good right now. When you say you would disagree, you would say a 75 BP point price in. You think I think I missaid that. I think a 75 is baked in. 100 would be bad. There's websites you can go to and it shows what they believe the chances are and what the people are going to vote on. I think, did I say 25? It is, yeah, that'd be extremely good. It'd be a nice rally, but no, I said that wrong. I use a lot of Ridge Vent, um, Omni, Lamanco by Omni. Are you big into crypto, Josh? Maybe I thought that might have been you. Let me see up here. Talking about the rate hike. Yeah. Hey, we'll see. What is that next week? It's the 21st. Yeah, next week we'll find out. I think it's Tuesday and Wednesday. It's a 2-day meeting. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, the plastic box vents, they suck. Just like you say, they crack. Same with the plastic pipe boots. I'm not a fan of them, especially in the wintertime. Using pneumatics, it punctures so quick and it puts that energy out into the plastic, puts a stress in it, has nowhere to go, and eventually it releases and cracks. It's usually when it gets cold, things heat and expand, and they also fade rather bad after a handful of years. The other thing, typically the plastic vents have a dome down, the heat scorches the roof around it, then you get the blue-green algae growing elsewhere, and you see these staining, streaking areas. Yeah, I've been roofing for 20 years, so I'm not gonna be able to do this for a whole lot longer. And honestly, I've got a chunk of money sitting right over here that I just scalped with, and I can make really good money doing that. I started getting a little bit into real estate 10 years ago, just little bits of different investments, intellectual property rights, and don't have to work right now. What kind of valleys do I install? Typically Texas, or I'm sorry, not Texas, California Valley. I install Texas valleys. For financing, no. Well, yes and no. We don't do financing ourselves, but I do work with a company that offers financing. The one that I've worked with is PowerPay. They don't have any dealer fees. Because I hate like Hearth or whatever and Green Sky and those companies. They're like, oh, you can build that in, just build it in and pay those fees. Like, you don't understand. My market is so low. Unless I know they want financing and I can pad the estimate, it's hard to say this is your price, price per square, 300 a square retail, and they want to move with you, and then you have to pay dealer fees, and I mean, you gotta then at that point pass it on. So I just tell my customers that want financing, yeah, here's a company we use, there are charges. Better Texas than Cali. I would have to agree. I'm not a fan of California. Sorry. I mean, I think I like California. It's been many years since I've been there. I'm just not liking what California government is doing and stuff. So yeah, I'll start calling it a Texas Valley. No, I'm not charging 300 a square, but that's what my local market is. My local market is actually just below 300, like the 280 to 320, 330 a square. It's horrible here. Yeah, I know it's very low. It's very sad. Over the past 2 years, business is doing good. People are slowly raising their charge, their cost, their rates, their pricing, and materials have been going up. That's why they've been trying to just follow the material price. And I think just this year, like we just got going into the season, people lower their prices, start drumming up their work for the year, and then the calls started slowing. The looming recession. Oh my God, 750? Can I come work in your area, Connecticut? I got family out there. Um, So the price was rising slightly, and then I feel like it took a turn back down. And I feel like those are the people that might be just my personal opinion or my thought here, just my theory, that they were over leveraged. They've got a lot of new equipment and trucks, living the high life while things were good, and then now they're cash poor and they got payments. That's just the only thing I can think of and why your prices would go up as a whole in a market when you're already beat down, and then it takes a face plant. Yeah, my family's in the Hartford area, South Windsor. History does repeat. It's got cycles, no different than in crypto trading. And the thing that I like to do, if I'm unsure, just zoom out a little bit. I like to look at the 5 minute, the 15 minute, 30 minute, 1 hour. And when I'm scalping, those are the charts I like to look at. You'll see, I mean, a short little rally on a 5 minute candle. But if you zoom out on the 30 minute, the 1 hour, the other common times that traders use, you'd be like, man, we're in a downtrend. So you might have a very short term tick up, but it's just trending down. So if you look at the bigger cycles and confluence with the smaller cycles, I've had really good success. I've had quite a few trades in a row that go good. I did have a bad trade July 8th or so, 13th, I think it was, is when the CPI numbers came out. But I'm never playing with more than I can afford to lose, so I sleep good at night. Yeah, I mean, around here, if we can get into the 400, the upper four range per square, then it's pretty good. But I just don't understand. It's like the oil industries, Exxon, OPEC, all those companies. I mean, they're all within a penny or two of each other, or a dime at best. But then in the roofing industry, you've got hundreds of dollars per square spread. And it blows me away. A square roofing is $100. Then by the time you get all the other materials, what are they, how are they making money? What are they doing? I'd be more concerned on what are they not doing because they're not going to work for free. So are they cutting out material, not doing things they say? I've seen that a lot too. Let's see, we've been going an hour and 30 minutes. I want to just keep going and answer questions and chat with you guys, and the next thing I know, it'll be midnight again. I did a repair estimate for somebody, and apparently they didn't think the price was good, and they kept hounding me. Well, I want an itemized list. What's your labor? I was like, dude, my labor is what my labor is. It doesn't matter if my material is $1 because I had it on hand or free even. This is what it's going to take me to do the job. If you don't like it, go somewhere else. It sounds terrible, but I'm glad he quit calling. Here's the price for the job. Here's what I'm going to do. Here's the material I'm using. When you want like an itemized list, it's almost like you're trying to catch me in a scam. But I've got 13 or not 13 now, it's 19 years of experience doing this. If there's a problem, I'm gonna take care of it. If you want to try and save $100, $200 and go use the other guy that's gonna probably skimp on half the material and leave you with a shit job, then fine. If that's what you're shopping for is price, you know, commoditize the roofing industry. It's a real good one. 1,400 a square. Holy cow. I mean, rock on. The average roof ticket price here in my area is, uh, I'd probably say seven to $10,000 usually. It's pitiful. You know, all the roofing you got to buy for all the material, all the trash, all of the labor, all the overhead and equipment, diesel costs, warranty for however many years you're going to do this for, a solid day of work with your crew, the tools that break down and things, and people think that we're just making a killing at 300 a square. I mean, I don't get it. That's why I'm so burned out with it. Yes, quality does come at a cost. People don't realize you can get a good price, you can get a good job, you can get it fast. You can get two, but not usually all three. Or if you think the expensive guy's expensive, try hiring a cheap one. Uh, I don't get the mentality of people that think that way. Like, if you go to a doctor, you're gonna find the cheapest doctor to do open heart surgery on you? No. I mean, it's a skill. Hmm. I've had this like idea in my head. Maybe you guys have heard of what I'll mention here. Maybe not, I don't know. But I've kind of wanted to put together a short clip, and it's going to deal with Keynesian's Gresham's law. Anyone here heard of Gresham's law? Don't go Googling it real quick, but let me know if you've heard of it. Yes, the industry is kind of bad. At least in my area, it's bad. There's good people out there, but I feel like they're the minority now. Oh, my bandwidth is low. Yeah, I mean, that's one of my biggest things that I talk about. Nails too high, wrong spot, all this stuff. I mean, when it's done from the ground, the homeowner sees it. Oh, wow, looks good. I got a good new roof at a great price. And they're happy about that until it starts developing issues. I mean, I see way too many issues regarding nail placement, pattern, flashing, and unfortunately, those don't show themselves right away. It takes a few years. The reviews can go a long way, but again, just be cautious on what platform you're getting your review info from. Um, Google's a good one because I haven't found a way where I can manipulate them. But like the Better Business Bureau, if you've got bad reviews, you can pay them to wipe it away. There's a one thing if you are going to look at a company and they got a few reviews, I don't know, from just a few to 20, 50 reviews, it wouldn't hurt to just run through and pay attention to the names. There's a contractor, and I'm like, okay, I just figured I'd take a day and just do a little review research. And looking through some of the reviews, I'm like, wow, some of these names popping up leaving reviews have a very similar name or the same last name. And I'm like, do they have multiple accounts or is it family? Are they trying to build up reviews? So just pay attention to that too. On Google, if you're searching, if they've got a ton of reviews, there's usually keywords on Google that if you click the keyword, anyone that has left a comment that has that keyword, you can see it. So if you want to see like cleanliness or good protecting, just various keywords, it's a good way to sort through a lot of reviews to find out what people are saying with that particular keyword. Just a little tip when you're doing research on a company. Well, I don't necessarily agree with that D4X. I mean, well, I guess first off, what do you justify as a lot of reviews? Yeah, buying reviews is kind of bad. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they have stuff in there about that too. 1,000 reviews? Well, I don't know that I would really agree with what you're saying. I mean, I'm not saying that fake bot accounts or fake accounts or somebody creating several Google accounts. I'm sure it happens, but once you get up there in a few, I feel like, man, I'm not gonna go out and create 1,000 reviews, 1,000 pages or accounts. I'm sure somebody smart could write a piece of code in Python to actually go to Google and ping a handful of accounts and verify it and then start changing up wording to lead. I'm sure I mean, put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything. But so back to the 1,000 reviews. 1,000 reviews for me, that'd be quite a few. I think I'm sitting around the 145-star reviews with one negative review because the lady, bad number, dress, couldn't find it. Apparently, I was a block away, whatever. But instead of like calling back, she just wants to blast me, which is fine. I left her a reply back explaining. But so 150 reviews. I'm the one guy. I'm the only one selling the work. But if you've got a big company or a national company or a company with like 5, 10 salesmen, and they're doing a ton of roofs each day, I'm sure that you can get quite a few reviews built up. And so it doesn't necessarily mean they're all fake. I don't pay for reviews, but I will say just simply asking for the reviews goes a long way. People are always so busy. It's gotten so bad in today's society that TikTok is one of the fastest or the biggest growing platform because, just less than 1 minute clips or even YouTube shorts, just people's attention span is so small. When they say they'll leave a review, yeah, I get told that all the time, even though they're super happy and super thrilled, a great job. I mean, I'm guilty of it. We bought a new car and I said I'd leave a good review for the guy because he was great to work with. Second car he bought off the salesman, but I'm like, yeah, just shit happens, but kind of forget. But if you just simply ask him, so I wouldn't recommend paying for it though. $150 discount? What was he doing? Rebuilding his whole face? Or was that a $150 discount for review? Everyone get 50. Huh. Wow. You can also, when you're digging through reviews, people that are really descriptive, you can get a lot of good info aside of just a 5-star review. I'm pretty sure in some of my reviews, I would read them as they come in. If something happened, we go back and we take care of it. And if they leave that kind of detail, it lets the future potential customers know, like, okay, yeah, things happen, they're human, but they took care of it. Am I on next door for Indianapolis? I'm not even sure what next door, well, I guess I know what it is now. I'm not on it. But in the Westfield area, people were saying stuff on the app about us, if that's what you're asking. Not a big fan in the Indy area. Done some work down there. I just don't do a whole lot. If you've never done it like at all, oh, don't. I mean, I saw a study where startups have the same like statistics as going through buds in the Navy SEALs. It's a lot of failure rate, especially the roofing industry. It's like massive statistics of failures. So I don't know that I'd just say, hey, go out there and start a roofing company when you know nothing about it, not even installing or how to inspect them or anything. I'd recommend just go get a part-time job with somebody and just kind of even try it out and see if you like it before you invest in all that. It's almost like Bitcoin dropping pretty good right this moment. um, like the big companies like Netscape and all these other companies back in the day, American Online, they were big, they were huge forces out in the industry. And are they around now? No, you got the Google giants now. They sat back and learned from these other companies, and then when their time was ready, they just pounced and grew. So learn from others and then improve. I'm not sure. Sneaky Pete. What are you talking about? Let's go. Poor flashing gutters. Not sure what you're talking about. A lot of companies sub out, but at least it's a good idea to know what you're doing, to know if your subs are screwing you up. You don't want to start selling a ton of roofs and they're jacking things up. So I'd want to have a basic understanding of at least a roof install, so you can kind of keep an eye on the quality control. But oh, I mean, okay, yeah, just getting a job. I mean, if you don't like it, you can always leave. Um, check around with some of your reputable contractors and see if they're hiring. But right now, there's a lot of companies that aren't really doing a lot of hiring, at least I hear. It's a good physical activity. They burn a lot of calories, get a good tan. House wrapper zap people. Huh. Kind of lost on that one. Yeah, so the first part of the stream, we were going through this house and some photos. So this is a leak that I'm going to look at tomorrow. This section right here. That's what the beginning of the stream was about. Russ the Red Fox. Yeah, so I was kind of going through some of the photos talking about it, and then it kind of just got into Q&A and just a chat. Uh, Advertising on OfferUp, isn't that an app that people can like rent their stuff out on, I thought? Maybe I'm thinking of something else. We'll go 10:15 to 10:30, 10:30 to 11 maybe. I see more people coming in. Yeah, I see a lot of crazy flashing jobs around chimneys around here. One of the most common botched flashing jobs on chimneys I see is they'll flash the bottom low side, and when they extend it out, they simply slice it and fold it over, and then they put a piece down the side coming down, and they slice it and fold it over. Well, I mean, that's kind of stupid because you've now got a crease right here at the corner where there's a slit, and you got this one up here, and you fold another crease and a slit. I mean, you can usually see right down in there. You could take a pencil tip and just shove it right down into the attic. Doesn't seem like a good idea. I see people do that all the time. It's really easy to get the accordion style flashing at the bottom of the chimney, or even just to simply extend the piece of flashing and bend dog ear on it. That's what we do. Really easy to divert the water. Or, as BDR says, a sighting in a can. One of my videos, I commented I wouldn't even plain it, just said it. No, literally, I've seen guys with a bucket of tar and a glove, and they just slop their hand on it and smooth it out real good. I've seen people do that with that way better than other flashing jobs, and that's like the worst you can do. You don't like the position of the down on that picture. Oh, yeah, exactly. I've not been there. Just to give you a little context on it, since you look new to the stream. There's a leak. I'll just go through it real quick if you want to see it. But some of the other people have already been here and seen this. I've not been here. Somebody called me. They had a leak. They want me to look at it. I'm gonna try and get it worked in tomorrow. Uh, Here's the inside. You got some moisture build up here. It looks like mold or mildew. Trying to get a reference point on the property. There's an exterior door, exterior wall, the closet, bookshelf areas against another room. Here's the ceiling. Just note that there's no real apparent damage or staining up here. And then the outside. This photo, I believe, was taken in the evening, so it's a west-facing slope. You can tell by the sun shining down on this, casting a shadow. There's a chimney, no obvious damage, very small soffit overhang. The roof was installed in March, and the leak is now. So gutter could be clogged with helicopter leaves, debris overflowing. Could be splattering on the wall because there's not much of a soffit overhang, and rain could be coming in around this dryer vent right here, which is right in that area. And then also the cold basement air from where the dryer is coming up and condensating just moisture right there. So those are some things I want to look for. Yeah, right down here in this corner, this looks like cedar planks, but always need a kick out. It's very common when you have vinyl siding and J channel. They'll start stepping behind everything. Well, that very first piece down here, if they don't have it flare out, it's going to come down and just rot out the subsiding. I did a video back in March or April of a chimney where you could just push on the siding in this area right here because there was no kick out and all the water over the years was going inside their chimney cavity and just rotted out the subsiding. A kick out and a concrete kicking water. I have not been here in person yet to see this, so I really don't know. But even if it was the flashing issue coming down here, I would expect it to run down this brick here or inside a seal plate coming down in this wall right here. And if you look back at this photo right here, you're seeing it a foot or so out from that wall. So I don't suspect it's the step flashing, given where this is right here. Could it be hitting here and pooling over to a low-lying area? It's very possible, but if you look at the other side of this wall right here from the outside, I see this, which is pretty concerning, knowing you're taking a hot, moist air from a dryer and surrounding it by a cool basement air coming up, lack of insulation, you get condensation and moisture. Also, the soffit overhang and water hitting it and then catching if it's not sealed, running right in. So, as of right now, I'm going to rule out the flashing, although it could possibly be the flashing near the chimney because it's a little bit further away and running down a rafter, hitting the top seal plate and coming down right here. I've even seen where ridge cap is not tucked under the ridge vent far enough, and again, I've seen it come in there and run down and drop off. But given the way this is and the dominant winds coming out of the west and southwest, I don't think it's blowing in from the north and getting in under the ridge. I'm going to rule that out. That's not a common mistake I see people make. I'm going to focus my attention in this area here and this area here. Yeah, I've seen a lot of issues. I mean, when you've seen as many, or not like I've done a ton, but I've done it quite a bit. I've done a lot of leak inspections and looking at things, but you kind of get to the feel for when you're looking inside of a home at a leak, is what a customer says. I got a roof leak. And you go and you see things and you know similarities over the years on what the leak looks like, how much damage is there, and where is it. If it's a bathroom or near a bathroom or a kitchen, typically you're gonna, and it's near a wall, right at the corner of a wall and a ceiling, typically what you're gonna look for is the sealer flashing around a pipe because it's coming in through the vent stack going right down the wall. If it's a bathroom or near an exterior wall and it's just sporadic throughout, usually that's a condensation issue. There's not enough ventilation in the area. You got cold air and a hot attic, and it's just it, moldy, mildewy, black nastiness. If it's a leak, you're going to see a centralized point snaking out different areas, mud joints, staining. Those are usually roof leaks. Nail placement over time they rust out, leak. Those are kind of unique look too. Yes, I actually talked to somebody the other day about using infrared. Actually, no, it was this morning. The guy here at this particular house, I told him about an infrared camera. If it was soaking wet, if you were to shine that at this wall right here during a leak, if you saw it just soaking right here, I'd look at that vent. But if it was from somewhere higher, you would typically see the cooling thermal image with infrared. I've actually only seen that in person once. I know about it, but there's an inspection insurance claim adjuster guy coming out to a commercial property of ours, and he is just shining at the wall, looking around. You could see where the water was running and where it was cooling. Bring the labor cost down. I mean, I don't think it's just the labor. I think it's the materials is the biggest. I don't mind roofing. If I did, I wouldn't be doing it 19 years later. I just looked every day as a new day and a new learning experience and just enjoyed it. You know, it's I couldn't stand having the same office every day the rest of my life. At least with roofing, it's something new. It's a new image, it's new weather, it's new something. I can tell you I can't stand days like this week, the last month. It's just been hot and humid. I can't stand that. Roofing's really not hard. It's pretty simple when you get the basics down. There's not a lot to it. It's just unfortunate that, at least in my area, a lot of guys don't care about anything but their next fix. They just want to get through the day. They just want to be there and collect a check. They take no pride in anything. Not all, but most. Yeah, we're in the salt tub right now. In my area, usually it's like mid-July through August, but this year it was like early June. Just the heat switch and the humidity, muggy indicator just bad. No, I mean that's definitely a thought that I always keep in mind, but looking at the photo, it doesn't go down any lower, but if you look right here where this vent is in relation to the height of the window, and I can see down here a little bit. Typically, a drywall vent like this, uh, not drywall, a bathroom or a dryer vent coming up. Usually they just come up through the basement and stub out somewhere. Looking at this, I really don't have a good indication of the height from the window to the trim down here. Maybe I could go off of this bottom shelf in this photo here. So there's the bottom shelf you're looking at, and it comes down in the window here where this is. I think that's above grade. I'm not there. I don't have the best angles and photos. This is all I got to work with. You can also see the ground grade level there. I don't think it's the grading. I just find it odd that if you had this running up so high into the other room, like I don't understand why you'd have that vent this high up. I think it's going to be right down at this plate or even possibly right below. Too hot in the UK. What's your temperature where you're at there in the UK? Like what's normal and what is it now? Yeah, I mean, you're right. It's really not hard. I mean, they're there shooting the nails down. All they got to do is just be cautious of where they're putting them. You're throwing a shingle down and offsetting it, so what's the difficulty in just making sure you're at least 5 inches? You're putting a piece of flashing in the wall. What's the difficulty of making sure you don't skip one or forget one or put it at the right height? It's not rocket science. It's unfortunate. I mean, it's easy to make a mistake, and if you make a mistake, it's going to leave you with a bad problem. That's the thing. 77, ooh, Scotland. We're 90. Ooh. Later, Josh. What's up? Oh, oh, excuse me. Yeah, it's the humidity that's just really bad. I don't mind a little bit of heat as long as it evaporates off. It's when you walk outside, and the minute you walk outside, your forehead's just dripping in sweat, and your shirt's all sticky. Oh my God, I hate it. It's different if I'm out at the pool, on a boat, on the beach. I hate being sweaty. All right, we're 2 hours in, 10:30. Sounds like a lot of you guys are in pretty wide, sprawling areas. What time works best for you guys? Yesterday, I think I started the stream at 10 and went on. The hell, it's probably after 10. Started this one at 8:30 Eastern Central Time. What time works good for you guys? Rance, are you still in here? Just wanted to try to get an idea of what time works good for you guys. So I had a thought. I was thinking about it today. Um, Being able to do Q&A for anyone's got any questions or homeowner DIYers once a week maybe, or possibly 3 days a week. I don't know, just because they give a chance for more people, different days. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday is kind of a thought I had. Monday evening, Wednesday evening, and Friday evening. That'll give me time. It kind of works good for me for the days that I really need to be around to be dad. That way they're not back to back, but there's at least plenty of time for people to get questions answered. So I thought about trying to do that and each day have a topic. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are. So like chimney flashing, and maybe I can have some stuff to give visuals for the people that know nothing about it. Or wall flashing, pipe boots, shingles, just anything. I just want your guys' opinion on what to do. Yeah, the vent was something else I thought if the rain was hitting the wall, because there's not much of a soffit overhang, and it hitting the vent and then running down the tube, it's in a probably a tight chase right there where it could easily be hitting that. The other thing that makes me think moisture condensation is because this down here does not really look like pooling water. It doesn't look like staining, not bubbling. That's probably where when the trim was put on and they put a thin bead of caulking to paint it, and there's probably a low divot there, you get that cold heat barrier hitting, and it just is going to start getting the condition right for mildew, mold, something nasty. You'd like to hear about material discounts? I'd like to hear that too. Unfortunately, they're going up first of next month, the first week of next month. Normal warranty on shingles, most brands are in the area of algae color, 10 to 15 year non-prorate, and then prorated after that out to 20, 30 years usually. Then unless you have like a Systems Plus, special manufacturer, Golden Pledge, Master Elite, whatever warranty. People just come in here like, what does he have on his screen? Go back to this one. At least it looks like a roof for a roofing channel. Boy, Bitcoin broke down below 23,000 just a little bit ago. What, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes ago? I can't really say for a lot of suppliers out there because I don't know. I've been pretty loyal to my suppliers. Um, and I know they don't want me to say, and I'm a smaller account, so I don't know. I'm not going to say. And I'm a small company. I mean, I know what I do, but I feel like a small company in the grand scheme of things. I think I spent like, I don't know, 400,000 on my credit card last year for material. Would you need to go to the people that installed your roof for warranty work? Um, is there something going on with your roof, or are you just asking if there's a problem? I mean, uh, I'm not fully understanding your question. If you have a warranty claim like a defaulty shingle, do you need to go back to your contractor that installed it? No, you can choose any contractor. Um, like for example, the OC claim I've got in front of me that I was working, it's a roof we did. The guy wanted that particular duration shingle, but there's a discoloration issue going on. He can have any other contractor do the claim. It's not a problem. If it's error like from an installer, yeah, you'd want to check with them and taking care of it. Did that answer your question, I guess, as far as if it was a warranty claim from the manufacturer, you can have anyone? There's going to be things they're going to need as far as like proof of ownership during installation. Oh, cracking. I'm going to guess it's cracking where two shingles come together, the one above it. Follow that crack straight up. I'm guessing that's what you're seeing. I just saw it 2 days ago on another one. How old is your roof? It really depends on your roof and how old it is. And also, are you the original owner from when the roof is put on? Because there's a little clause that they don't tell you about. But if you put on a roof, or let's just say that you're buying a home and the home owner before you put a brand new roof on and you move into it and you live there just over a year and then you have a claim, typically there's a 1 year leeway that you need to transfer the warranty into the new ownership. And if you don't do that within a year, that's technically an outs for them. So 10 years, depending upon the brand, most brands have a 10-year uh, manufacturer warranty. on the color and performance of the shingle, 10 to 15, non-prorated. And if they do, typically they're only going to cover the warranty for their products. So their shingle, their starter, their cap, whatever is their brand that you used, plus some for labor. Have I ever used Z-bends for ridge cap? No. Yeah, I do see that a lot. With this photo here, I'm thinking it's something other than the flashing though. I don't know, we'll see. My plan is to get down there tomorrow, look through it, go over it, probably put a video of the inspection or what I'm finding afterwards. Depends on how much time I have and what I find when I get there, if I can keep up on schedule. If it was going to be more of a chimney issue, all chimneys are different. This one does not have a backside, so you don't have a lot of rainwater coming down and hitting a dead pocket or the backside of the pan, whatever you want to refer to it as. This one strictly has a ridge going into the chimney, and it's got a face coming down. So I don't see that necessarily being the issue. But then again, I don't see anything in the ceiling. What's a ridge cap? The hip and ridge cap? Think they use what for hail and UV protection? Did I miss a comment? The who said that? This guy, the ridge cap. It's going to be these pieces right across the top. It's hip and ridge, so that's a ridge, and then the hip would be it's all dark here. That's valleys. This is all ridges. I don't even see any hips on this house. A hip would be where you've got two facets coming together at the angle like this, and that forms an angle going up like that. That's a hip, but it's the same material that covers the hip and ridge. It covers the two facets where they join. Oh, GAF Z ridge. No, I thought the only one I know about GAF um, ridge vent is I think it's Snow Country. Yeah, I appreciate that. It kind of is a bummer sometimes um, when I see people like Not Your Average Roofer that started a channel. And granted, he has a pretty good BDR following, but right at the right time with everything that was going on with the pandemic, everybody was at home looking that stuff up, and his channel just exploded. I really try to share good stuff that I know, and it's just slowly growing, but whatever. It's not so much for the growth I'm doing it for, it's to help people. Is installing the ridge cap easy? Yeah, actually, you know what? Let's just mix this stream up and I'll go another 20 minutes. I keep saying I'll go a little bit more. I'll go a little bit more. Let me bring another tab up here. YouTube. Let me go to my page and search ridge. I know I've had to have done a video on that. Actually, I think I did one with my brother on a small garage roof we did. Where's my search bar? Give me a sec. I can't even find my search bar. I'm gonna search. This is
Take my gloves off.
see if I can find you some volume.
Grip them quicker.
Ridge cap.
So what I try to do is, there's a little notch right here. I'm putting them about to there. So it's got a little extra coverage covering your nails. I was just explaining a minute ago on the placement of the nails, where to keep them just a little bit lower.
The 2021.
I typically like to have the guy shoot my side, so I can let go. It's pinned down. He can fold and finish pinning while the guy actually letting it.
This guy
He's already moving to the next piece.
There's the Matoba. Actually, that's.
Let me know if you need
one of the older ones.
Shock is pretty. Here it comes.
Every state has its own self-disclosure policies. Can you guys hear that video playing in the background? If you don't mind, if somebody can let me know if you can hear that, I'm curious. If you're hearing it play, and then pick up with the mic, or if it's just on the video.
I'm also trying to kind of watch his nail placement on my side. If I see something I know, to hold up and pound him down. Jesus.
Okay, audio's good. I'm curious, if you don't mind, reply back here in just a second. I want to turn this down on my laptop and see if you can still hear the audio. I've never done this before like this. So is the audio now dead, or can you still hear it playing through?
This one right here, hammer.
Oh, this guy? You know my brother? The audio's still good right now? Cool, so I can keep it quiet here and you can still hear it. Nice. But I can't hear it. I don't even know what I'm saying. I appreciate that. I'm learning something new every day. You're down the street from food. What are you talking about? Oh, close. I'm too quiet. What do you mean? Like in the video that was playing there right now. Got no questions. I'm not a good one-man conversation kind of guy. The house here, the video. Oh, the video is louder than me talking. Okay. How's that roof passing? Stack hair out. No ridge vent. No, there is ridge vent up there, it looks like. Again, I've not been here, but it looks like there's ridge vent right up here. And it looks like, as small as the soffit is, it looks like there's an air inlet too, judging by these little shadow marks here. Okay, I appreciate that. So there was a video I did in the past, but it wasn't this style on a live stream. It was actually me screen capturing while GoProing, and then I do a lot of editing, but I did a video review of one of the world's fastest roofers, and it was horrible quality. Absolute horrible nail placement. But he was the fastest. He was bragging about it. And instead of learning from the people commenting to him, he decided to defend himself and be a really mouthy kid. No, I try to stick just strictly with roofing. Maybe do a little bit of gutter repair. If it's bigger gutter stuff, I just sub it to a gutter guy I've got a good relationship with. I'm not gonna try to be the master of all or a jack of all. Go hard, fastest guy. Yeah, I can't remember which one this one was. It was like, I think he said it like Texas's fastest, or I can't remember what the title was. Let me see if I can find it or just watch it real quick. Go back to my channel, see if I can find it on there. It's probably a year or two old now. Hey, Zach of all trades. Fastest roofer alive. Okay, here it is. This is my video right here. 12,000 views a year ago. Let's check this out. See what you guys think of this.
World's fastest roofer. World's fastest shingler. One score challenge. Roofing Olympics. Whatever it is. I want to show you something here. Let's jump over to the screen.
My dog's out.
We're going to play this through one time, about 37 seconds, and I'll play it back, and we're going to learn some lessons here.
That's how we do it right here. Put this on the fucking fastest machine test. We got so fast machine nailer. We're gonna post it. We're gonna post it. It's gonna go viral. Yeah.
Yo, Avery, you shot that wrong. Okay, so I want to point out a few things and address some things real quick. Now for the lesson. So, first I want to give this video concept, playlist concept out, shout out to my brother, Pat, with Patrick's Epic Journey. He's currently watching from Colombia, so hey, check his channel out. So, he sent this video to me, and I was just blown away one day. He said, you gotta check this out. I'm on a roof in a little flat, and I've watched the video just a few days back. I had the idea. I actually told this concept in a recent video, and I want to do it. So, the concept of this video is, I'm going to watch videos on YouTube, just like you guys do all the time. We're going to learn some lessons out of this. So first off, I want to address a few things. I'm not bashing this guy. I'm sure he was probably good, probably is still good, probably better now. I don't know. I don't know where he is in life. I never met the guy. By the way, did you notice he pointed out viral video? Let's look at that real quick. So I will leave a link to this particular video in the description if you want to check it out for yourself.
He's actually only a couple
Not my rendition of me talking about it. It's only 37 seconds. It's labeled Fastest Shingle Nailer. It did go viral, apparently at some point, 4.3 million views almost. Published August 11th, 2014. Why I want to do this is there's a lot of guys out there that have commented on me, leaving some bad comments that why am I always picking on Zach of all trades, also known as Veteran Roofing, Veteran Roofers. I'm not. You know, I watch his channel. He's good. He's also actually figured out the algorithm because check this out.
Curious, does that change the?
I saw. So he's mastering the algorithm.
Is that better?
In one of his recent videos just a few weeks ago, he was very adamant on saying, let's all have fun, let's all participate in the One Square Challenge, World's Fastest Shingler, Roofing Olympics, whatever, but let's not compromise quality. He clearly pointed that out. So by no means am I bashing on Zach. Zach, if you're watching, hey, from Kokomo, if you're in the area, give me a shout, you know, beer and lunch on me. I'll shout out you if I'm up that way. If you want to do a collaboration, give me a buzz.
Lower than the
so anyways... The idea popped into my head about this, and I think it's pretty good. There's so much content out there on YouTube that you guys have probably seen a lot that I haven't. So send me a copy of the link. I'll show you here in a little while, and I will review it. If I like it, I'll give you a shout out, and I will put a video
when I turn this down,
video you sent me.
right here.
So let's learn from this real quick. Okay, I'm going to jump the screen back up big again here real quick.
Turned down too low.
Let's learn. I'll pause through and point out some things here, okay?
Let's see if I can turn up a
That's how we do it right here. Put this on the fucking fastest machine test.
Yeah, they look like they're up all the way.
Okay, so right away when I first saw this video, I was like, well, he's racking it in. At least that's what I call it. I'm not a fan of it. I think you can see it. It looks like crap. It just... basically said I don't care about quality.
I've got my volumes up all the way.
I guess mail on that. Manufacturers, I believe, honor this. It just doesn't look good. If you read the instructions on any manufacturer, they're going to say build it up like this, and there's certain instructions for it. So I don't like that. nail placement, nail placement, nail placement. Let's look at this. This one is in, it's up high. He's doing, appears to be a 4 or 5 nail pattern. It's not good. Most of your roofers, you've already seen this, probably like blown away. So he throws this shingle down to install it. He shoves it under this.
I don't know if, here, what if I do that? If I
Shingle up
mute
to
it,
shoot.
does it mute it for you guys? Is it muted right now? I don't know if they're pulling the audio through the internet. Mic movement? No, I don't think so. I can try to switch camera to the laptop mic. Let me try that here real quick. How about that? Is that any better? Oh, yes, to the muted. If I mute it here, you guys can't hear the video then, right? The video is muted. Barely turn the video sound up.
Roughly per case. I mean, what's an extra
How about that?
$30 for a box of nails to go add a few nails? You're going to get an enhanced wind warranty. Brand in 2014, I think they said 4 nails. They still honor 4 nails, just less wind warranty.
Well, it's fine. Now I
So
screwed
that's
it
not
up.
my complaint here. My
Let me go back to the other
complaint
camera.
is these kind of videos encourage the youngsters, the new guys. Let's be fast. Let's have fun. I'm not complaining about having fun and being fast, but don't skimp on the quality.
All right,
Let's
about
make
that?
sure we're all installing a great, superior product that the manufacturer is going to honor their warranties for your customers.
That any better?
Let's be good and be fast. You know, there's a Dixie chopper here in the area.
Perfect.
and there
All
are
right,
commercials
perfect.
that
So
go
if I
around
do
this.
anything
It's
like
not
this in
about
the
how fast you
future, I need to
mow.
be using
It's how
my
fast you mow
USB
good.
camera and mic,
So it's not about how
mute
fast you roof,
the
it's how fast you
laptop
roof good.
mic,
Okay?
and keep this
that's strictly
volume
all I'm
right
saying
down here, just barely
Let's watch a few
cracked
little
up, so
more
you can hear
pieces
me
here. It's
good
not
and you can
this
still hear the
one
video
shingle I'm pointing
playing.
out. It's in his whole 37-second clip. They're all this way.
We got so fast shingle now.
Right there, nail high, nail in.
Can you hear the
clearly see
video
those are
volume right
above
now?
the nail line. It's a pretty faint nail line. Typically, your entry-level shingles, your lower end across the board, all manufacturers, they have this really low.
Is that a long video
Now,
or
like
what?
Sure Nail,
Damn.
there's a hellacious, strip. You hit it, they're going to honor it. Malarkey, great
Yeah, I
shingle.
gotta go
SBS
let the dog
1
back in real
Ron
quick.
Crust,
She's
but their
done.
nail
Yeah.
line is clearly defined. Same with, I think, even IKEA Dynasty. There's a clear, defined nail zone. They're going to honor their warranties. That has nothing to do with this guy. The line is very faint, but he's clearly just missing it. He's clearly just shooting shingles down. Anyone, I could teach my little daughter, 3 years old, to do this.
We're gonna post it. I'm sitting, folks.
Okay. Well, anybody got any other questions? Ideas? Okay. Well, if it can work like that, if you can hear me talking live and then play videos and you can still hear that, that's kind of cool, because then I could, like, if you guys have any videos you want me to look at, something I could do live is watch it, and then we can talk about whatever's going on there if anyone has anything. Best brands for the Bucks. There's so much controversy. Well, not even controversy, but some people are like biased to certain brands. A few that I like are going to be Malarkey, Certainteed, and Owen Corning. GAF I've done a lot over the years. I'm not a fan of the way they promote their limited lifetime warranty. And here lately, it seems like their shingles might be getting thinner, lighter, possibly even like the granules aren't that great. As long as the video is set and low. Okay, noted. 1057. Give me some honest feedback. Good, bad, ugly, I don't care. I want to know what you guys want to see. And I got to get ready to wrap up here, because otherwise I'll be saying, oh, we'll just end it at 11:30, and I'll go on to 12, and it'll be 2 a.m. again. Shop at Reese, yeah. Over the years, I did a lot at Reese. I've been buying a ton at Richard's Building Supply and ABC Supply Co. Oh, are you in Indianapolis, this guy? Well, to be technical, Broad Ripple. Huh. I'm wondering where you're at, this guy. Are you in Broad Ripple? Are you talking about the Reese Wholesale on 54th? Oh, okay, cool. Nice. What's your name? You're probably familiar with the Morning Mess. They're in Broad Ripple. I'm trying to think of what restaurant that is. Really good bagel place. Malarkey. Markley. Malarkey. I'm not sure where that is. I thought for a minute you were talking about. So, wait a minute. You said you know my bro. He sent you here, but yet you're down in Broad Ripple. Now you got me confused. This guy, Joe. So your name is Joe. I go down to Broad Ripple every now and then. My brother-in-law lives right down there. Then I have bought from there when I've been in the area. Eleven p.m. Probably time to wind down. So I guess I only got a few comments back about what time works good and what days. If I were to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or just announce when I can work one in, what days and times. I can do more content. I just need to have an idea what to do. And you can only replace a shingle so many times and before it's repetitive. So the unscripted, impromptu inspections, they're usually all unique, so that's usually good, I feel, but I don't know if that's what you guys want to see. Who wants to get into a Bitcoin trade real quick? Appreciate the comment on the good content and videos. Thank you, appreciate it. One of my little scalping trade techniques, it's probably really bad. Don't listen to me, not financial advice, but I wait for a couple of really big candles to come in and using it with the RSI and the MACD, and I'm like, okay, it's a bright idea to just catch a falling knife, right? Yep. But I just wait until I'm like, it's pretty damn big. And everybody's like, oh, fuck no, bad time to buy. Don't buy. Everybody's selling. No, that's a good time to buy. And usually within a minute or two, I'm back out. You see how big this move is right here. Yeah, you're right. If I get into a Bitcoin trade, I'll probably be here all night. I don't need to do that. Not after last night. It'd be different. Usually I'm up until about midnight, 1 a.m., but last night was rough. I didn't go to bed until after 2. By the time I got done, finally, whenever the stream ended, took the dogs out, got a quick snack, went lay down. I was like wide awake. I couldn't even fall asleep. Monday, Wednesday, Friday would be good. Thanks, Rick. What times? I'm Eastern time zone, so my little girl usually goes to bed, and my wife's not too far behind her, so 8:39. Let me look at this over here. A handful of people came in, and then it started going up around the 9 o'clock hour. Yeah, there's a steady incline in viewers from 9 o'clock on to about 10. Yeah, I robbed my sleep for the past 2 years to study on YouTube and learn, and it's paid back. There's so many things I've learned between business and taxes and things like that. It's just saved me quite a bit. So you just had a roof put on for 9,000. Got a small circle drip under one of the air vents installed. The vent is beat up. That's not good. The 40 Yo Gamer. Um, if you have any pictures of it, go send it over to Grand Roofing Inc. Facebook page. Send it in a message. I'd like to see what you're talking about. I'll get back to you on it. Um, what state, what city you live in? I use TradingView, or I can pull it down here. I've got it up on the screen up here too. Currently, I've got everything running on my work computer, but I have a paid for subscription TradingView account. And let's see, right now I'm on 5 minute Bitcoin US dollar pair. And as far as the indicators, I got volume, RSI, MACD. I've got TradingView's script right here and an oscillator by TradingView. Then I've got other various things either blurred out temporarily. So this is the patterns. It's a new one. It's a paid script by TradingView. And I've got the EMA ribbon band. Usually I just watch that. Then I zoom out and I do a lot of macro charting on here. So you can get a really big picture and see what's been going on and the trend lines coming down ever since back here in November when we peaked out around the 67,000, 68,000. It's just been boop, boop, boop. And then you got this other little dropping bar, which is what we're currently breaking through right now. So just getting a quick bigger picture, and then my trading technique is basically looking at the 5 minute. I mean, I've got several techniques. I've got long-term investment bags I'm holding, but I like to, if you look back here, over the night, last night we dipped down, and then this morning around 11 we started running back up, but I was busy today. So typically, my opinion, we're going to kind of bounce down below this and then short rise up. But if you're, so like my scalp trades would be like 1 to 2 minutes and I'll make a couple $100. Scalp trade for me is typically no longer than 30 minutes. So one of my techniques was the other day I did one like right over here. When you see some big candles come in like this, each one of these candles is only 5 minutes, they'll typically get so overextended you'll have a very small short rebound. So if you can kind of catch that down there when you see it start bounce back up in the green, you can usually, there's $154 in 15 minutes. You do a few of those each day, you go to bed making a few $100 a day, and you can sleep easy knowing that if the market crashes, you're fine. You're out of the market. And if it rises and rallies, you're like, shit, I should have stayed in, but hindsight's 2020. You can't always time tops and bottoms, but if you can just limit your downside, that's a big, big part of the strategy. Where did my YouTube go? There we go. Sorry, I missed all my stuff here. Couple pinholes in the sure silicone. Shouldn't be any pinholes in your roof. I mean, if they're small, you can, but I don't. The question is why are they there in the first place if it's new? What is the best UV shingle for 100+ area in the south? Uh, and I don't know. That's some hot weather if you're talking about temperature. Small circle, size a quarter in the drywall. And something like that, how long ago did you have the roof put on? Those are the typical leaks that you see when it's something minor, just a small little drip. If your roof is fairly new in the last couple of years, it's probably not going to be the nail in a keyway. But if it's like 8 to 10 years, 8 to 15 years, that's usually when you see that style of damage in the ceiling coming from a nail, either in the wrong area in a keyway, or the other common one is in the bottom of a flange of a vent or something, or a pipe boot, like extreme bottom outer edge, and then they come loose. To buy Disney at 91 cents. You know, Disney had a really big deal announcement. They just, in the crypto realm, they're partnering with Matic and to bring NFTs to Disney. And it caused Matic to go on a rally like 100%. Yeah, right now, swing trading is good when there's some good volatility, like the past week or two. Scalp trading is always good because you're in and out so fast. And then like I said, I've got bags that have been holding for a while. And good thing is that when it goes up, I'm in short-term capital gains, which is nice. Everybody fears capital gains. Capital gains is actually the best tax bracket to be in. I'm sure the dips when Elon sold 75%. You talking about Dogecoin or when he sold Tesla? I don't follow that too much. Yeah, I've got a little bit of each technique. When I felt like we could have been hitting the market cycle, when Bitcoin's peak came in based on the Bitcoin halving, I was told I should have sold everything back in September. And of course, we peaked in November, in both Cardano and Bitcoin, but I sold half of my crypto account and I very small trading on this whole way down. So yeah, I didn't make a ton, but unluckily, a lot of people I know are down 80%. So my trading account's been pretty safe and secure. Then my long-term investments just hit 1 year long-term capital gain, so it's not a big deal. It's money I'm going to be sitting there. There, here we go. Here come. Okay, no, sorry, I'm back a little farther. I was seeing that getting excited. Roofer gone investing. Do I buy Matic? Yeah, traded a lot of Matic. A couple $100,000 trading volume in Matic a few months back. $108 yesterday in Texas. That's a hot one too. Oh shit. Is Texas humid like it is here in Indiana? I mean, it's just muggier and shit here. Your biggest holding is Memphis Energy. Is that a traditional stock? Yeah, you gotta have a gut for it. When I was doing my first bit of scalp trading, I was like, oh my God, because you'll buy and it'll start coming down and it comes back up. It's just have a plan and stick with it. Know when to cut your losses. Like, I don't know, I said earlier in the stream, I went to get my truck washed on the way home, and I pulled into the truck wash, like the drive-through car wash, and I bought a Bitcoin, and as I was coming out, I sold the Bitcoin. I mean, it was what, like $23,000, and it lasted a minute or so, and I made $30. So I was like, yeah, I just got a free car wash and a little money for dinner. Humid, not really. Yeah, so it's more of a dry heat. solar company, nice. I think there's going to be still more of a big push, but I mean, it's not the answer, but as if it's a long-term play, I think that's a good one. Another one I think could be maybe a little bit more risky is nuclear, uranium mines, because I think, shh, hang on, man, I gotta keep my dogs quiet. Come here. Sorry about that. The dogs heard something outside. Yeah, crypto's in the right time during a bull market. My stuff was up over 400%. It's volatility is good if you're on the right side. Huge lithium pit in Indiana. Hmm. I've got some stock in silver mines, gold and silver mines, but I'm just worried that some of the countries these are in, the governments are going to go rogue and just take a like an eminent domain or something and just take them over. How do I calculate trading fees? Uh, Probably a really messed up way. The reason I'm doing a lot of Bitcoin trading right now is because I use Binance, and Binance you can trade any BTC pair, zero trading fees. So that's kind of cool. And I do maker, not taker. I think there could still be like a 0.75% fee for a taker, but I always do maker. I like to know because I don't want to be trading $40,000 worth and then have it just putting in a massive red bar when I sell quickly. So I always do it. Sometimes it takes a minute or two to actually fill that 2 Bitcoin or so. Yeah, it's better to be out of a trade wishing you were in than in a trade wishing you were out because I can tell you, I've been in those and your stomach's just like, oh my God, is this ever gonna quit? And then you panic and then you sell at a loss. Never is a good outcome. So if you think it's gonna tank, just get out, close your position. And then other times, like in scalping, I'm like, oh my God, is it gonna come down? I just stick to my plan, and usually when it comes back up, I don't care if it's up $10. I'd rather take a $10 profit than a several $100 scalping loss. I'm down to about 17 people. So yeah, on Binance US, it is currently offering zero trading fee for any BTC pair. So I mean, as long as I sell it for more than I paid, there's no fee I've got to cover as long as I sell a maker order. So like a market, a limit order, not a market. Now, unfortunately, Binance US, I cannot short on Binance US. Oh, I'm sorry, short term. Yes. I trade Binance. I do a lot of short term trading, scalping, um, like my Cardano holdings and some of my other coins, Bitcoin, Ethereum that I'm holding long term that are already in long term capital gains. They're on Trezors and Ledgers. with taxes. So typically I have a holding account for any of my investment crypto stuff, and I never pull it out to do anything with. It's more of a long term. It's going to be when I think that the recession's in full swing and people are panicking and selling their properties at a loss because they need to. That's when I'm going to start deploying it back into the real estate and just moving from one asset class to another. I learned something about 10 years ago. If you take your house and divide it by an ounce of silver, an ounce of gold, or you take the Dow Jones and you divide that to the cost of an ounce of gold or silver, you can kind of see and kind of tell when some markets are higher in a bubble than others. So it's a good way when you're trading, you typically what you're trading is paired to something. Um, when you're trying to, at least that's the way I do it. You'll take the Dow and you'll divide it into an ounce of silver and see how many ounces of silver or gold it takes to buy a share of the Dow. Same with your house. You can kind of tell, get a kind of an idea how they stack up to each other. So that's kind of my plan. But then back to the taxes, if that's what you're asking. Um, at the end of the year, I know what my gains are because I use special software I pay for to track all my crypto stuff, and I just take a third away for taxes. And that's slightly maybe on the high side of it because if you're trading anything in less than a year and a day, it's going to be as earned income. So it's a higher tax bracket. Some people are chasing that sweet, juicy long-term capital gains. But here's the thing, when you buy Bitcoin and it drops 10, 7, 10% a day some days, you sell out, you buy back. I mean, from a short term to a long term, based on my tax bracket, it'd probably be a 7% additional tax. But if I can do that every day or every few days or a few times a month, it's going to stack up way bigger. You talking about calculating the taxes and stuff like that? So there's different pieces of crypto software where you just either import a CSV file into it, or you can plug it in with a read-only API, and it will pull all your exchange transaction, and you don't have to really keep that crazy track of it. It does it all. Like thousands of trades I've got this year already. Like for example, if you're going to trade a Bitcoin, it might be one Bitcoin, but you might only be buying a small percentage from one seller and then another seller and you buy a piece of there. So each one of those is technically classified as a transaction. Yeah, don't invest in anything you can't afford to lose. I took a pretty good sizable hit with the Celsius. Yeah, so if you look at this here, I just all day it's been kind of flirting with this white line, which is a big macro trend line that goes back since November. And I think since we're really not closing hourly candles very well above it, we're hitting it, we're bouncing down. We busted through a few hourly candles and come back down. We're hitting it, we're breaking back down below. And then you mix that with MACD's not looking good. It's just we're in a bear market overall. That's not good. Don't want to trade against the trend. And then the biggest thing on the 26th and 27th is the FOMC meeting, and they're going to announce the what rate hike. So I'm going to be cautious until then. And I think I've already traded around $60,000 today. Oh, you mean couldn't imagine buying at 55,000 when it was up earlier? Yeah, that'd be terrible. All right, 11:22. I keep saying it. I need to get out of here. Did I miss anything? If I miss people's comments, I apologize. The 40 Yo Gamer. Go ahead and send me a picture if you want to the Facebook page. I'd gladly look at that for you. When do I predict the housing market will crash? So I don't know if it's necessarily going to crash, but it's going to correct. There's a bunch of other YouTube people I follow in various different things, markets and real estate, and I've been in real estate. I have more than just my house I live in. Um, I sold my office building earlier this year. Everybody's working from home. It was a bigger building than I needed. Nobody was wanting to rent anymore. Property taxes were going up crazy, so we sold it. And I think there will be some recession. There will be some layoffs. Inflation's still high. I think people are going to start. They've been. I mean, so many people are. There was some people that were talking to some bankers, some financial bankers. Now, granted, they can't ask their clients when they're refinancing what they're doing, but they're doing a cash out refi, and in casual talk to them, they're using it to pay bills. So I still think there's still more capitulation to come. Gary Tillman. So you didn't, maybe I did. I think I asked, but I don't know if I answered. Were you the one that bought the dad wagon? I was telling my wife earlier, I was like, hey, I saw this name pop up. It sounded familiar. I think it's who bought the dad wagon. Yeah, I'm already seeing some, oh, repos starting. It's kind of similar to the '08 crash, '08, '06, '07, '08, when people were getting all those crazy loans that shouldn't have been getting them, and all those arms when they came and they ballooned. We bought quite a few homes with cash in the like '09. Started selling a lot of them. I don't know that we'll ever go back to the '09 prices, but we're gonna see. Oh, okay. No, you're in Missouri. Okay. Well, you had said something the other day, and there's a Tillman here in my hometown that I did a roof for, and then finally put two and two together. They bought a car off of me. So, my old dad wagon. Okay, sorry. Different Tillman. Yes, thank you, Josh. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep seeing the minutes tick on. Hey, it's fun, you know. The only thing I'd be doing right now is watching Bitcoin, probably getting into a quick scalp trade and YouTubing. I mean, I'm YouTubing all the time. Not here, but learning. I'm a receiver of the info, learning what I don't know. You got a new charger for 700? Oof. Yeah, I bought my wife a new car, a new 22 Honda Pilot. You can get a 60 month. I think it's like $620 or something. I shopped around on prices too. Uh, 2.9, I think is what I got. I was like, well, baby, if we're gonna do it, let's do it now because they might do 100 BP. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a 75 basis point. You can't find something to cut copper, huh? Come on down, baby. I'd like to wake up in the morning and see this around the 22, 21, 7, 22. Actually, yeah, if we get down below 22, that's, man, I've seen some pretty good drops. Let's see where we're sitting here on the 5 minute. I don't know. I think I'm gonna let it just cool off and get past this FMLC meeting. Yeah, we traded our other Honda Pilot in we had. Dude's like, dude, this is brand new. Like, we always like way less than the national average. Oh, the dad wagon, it was a 5 speed Mitsubishi Outlander. It is a fun little vehicle. I bought it for $500. I had to put a new manual transmission in it, some other little various things, but it was a fun little car to ride around in. Called it the Dad Wagon. It was like a hatchback, little Mitsubishi. All right, guys, 11:30 here in less than a minute. I need to wrap up. God, I want to do an hour, and somehow I did another 3 hour. Just to wrap up and back to this house here. My plan is when I get down there to see what's going on, get some footage of it. So might do what is tomorrow? Tomorrow's Friday. Yeah, maybe I'll just keep up with the Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I'll give you guys a Friday night debrief of what I find here on this thing here. KuCoin, KCS coin. That's KuCoin, right? Chinese exchange. I got a little money out there, not much. I used to do a little trading on KuCoin. I'm just not a fan of sending an ERC20 over to it and taking $30 just to get the transfer over there. Thanks, this guy. Take it easy. Appreciate you watching. Get check back at 425 and I'll still be here. No, I'd be dead if I did that. Sorry, there's an earlier comment up above. I didn't see. I didn't see some of these when I had to go get my dogs from barking. All right, there should be 11:30. Appreciate it, guys. It's been fun. Appreciate the what do they say? The fireside chat. I might watch Bitcoin on my phone a little bit and get tired and fall asleep. True story, last trading story, and I'll get out of here. I had my little girl on my lap last year, and I'm trading like $30,000 worth. And I went to close a position, and I don't know, was not paying attention, and I bought 100% of my available funds. I was like, oh my God. Uh, really distracted with my little girl on my lap trading. Bad idea. Luckily, it came right back up after a nice little dip within like 2 minutes, and I sold it. But yeah, lesson learned. All right, 11:31. Appreciate it. As always, until next time, be safe, and we'll see you then.